What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, a.k.a. Chatty Bobby. All aboard.
And my name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th. People said I needed to get more elaborate with it, so I just did.
Oh, my God. He just went
I did that.
Boy. Hell
I
yeah,
just
dude.
went with that.
I'm going to put the one-up mushroom in the pictures because that's exactly what you just did right there, dude.
I hit that high note and just carried it.
Dude, you carried it and you stuck the landing and everything. Good dismount. I would have got a gold in the Olympics, I think.
I think so,
We're
even
back,
with a
man.
broken leg.
We're back. What is it, episode 7?
Episode 7.
Shout out to John Elway, Boomer Esiason, a lot of other good number 7s.
How
What's
great of
another
a
number
name is Boomer Esiason?
It's a pretty good one.
I
You
mean-
know any other good number 7s in sports? Baseball, maybe?
Was Dale Murphy in number 7? No, Dale Murphy.
Somebody named Dale Murphy sold Miller Impala.
Really?
Not the same Dale Murphy.
Not the center fielder
Unfortunately,
for the
no.
Atlanta Braves?
It was a 9,000-year-old man named Dale Murphy.
Okay, not the Dale Murphy we were thinking of then. But I don't know. Mickey Mantle was number 7.
Mickey.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, if it's true, cool. If it's not, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
But
We're back.
that number is probably retired with the Yankees. I mean, you can't get a single-digit number playing for the Yankees anymore.
No, you can't.
So,
yeah, we're doing a podcast. Episode 7.
Oh, here we are.
We're back, man. Shout out to everybody that checked out episode 6. We did the
Underrated.
Underrated movies, which I had a lot of fun doing.
It was a blast as always.
Yeah, it was cool, man. And I think that we did a good job as far as like throwing out a few from each genre. You know, we only threw a couple horror ones because we're going to save that towards October.
Yep.
And September, October, November.
Yeah,
whatever.
we got a ton of spooky episodes.
A lot of spooky stuff going to be coming on.
Spooky. That's that's a word that grinds my gears. Is spooky.
Spooky.
I hate that. What grown adult uses the word spooky?
God, we said it a lot. I said spooky just now as many times as I probably said it my whole life.
Well, get it out of your system because
Spooky,
it's over
spooky,
with.
spooky. That's enough. No
Anyways.
more. Yeah. Episode 7, man. We're going to talk Will Ferrell movies.
Yes, just one of my favorite comedic actors out there. Well, he has he don't push out as much stuff here lately as he used to, but
Yeah.
Especially in the early 2000s up to through the 2010s. I mean, he was just.
Oh, he was the man. I mean, he was the man. I mean,
Probably from 2000 to 2010. I mean, he was just bringing out heaters.
No, for sure. I
time.
mean, he was my favorite SNL character, like cast member. Ever.
Yes.
I mean, Farley. I love Farley, but Farley wasn't on that long.
No, well, I think if Will Ferrell was on. I'm not sure how long he was on there, but he was on SNL for quite a while.
Yeah, and he just had. It's kind of like a more of a sample size, I guess, with Will Ferrell than Chris Farley. But I love Chris Farley's skits too. But yeah, as far as the SNL stuff, and then like the movies, like now he's not really doing comedies. Like he's doing this weird, like he's kind of trying to branch out because I guess he's done all that.
Yeah,
which I get. That's usually how the comedic actors do. They'll do a big batch of them, and then unless you're Sandler and you sign a big Netflix deal, but even he's going and doing like dope, like Uncut Gems and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then Will Ferrell here lately, his last 2 movies I think have come out straight to Netflix.
Yeah,
but they're not good.
Yeah, you said they're both really bad, which I hadn't watched them, but we'll get into that. But yeah, Will Ferrell, we're going to talk about his stuff, and we've seen almost all of the movies. There's probably 4 or 5 that we haven't seen, just because it's not anything that really interested us. But other than that, I think one of us or both of us has seen pretty much everything.
Because he has a list of stuff where he was the lead man in, and then also all his little small cameo roles that he played in movies is just priceless.
Before we get started, if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button.
Please do.
Myself and Tony's Instagram is in the description if y'all want to follow us. If you want to listen, if you'd rather listen to the podcast, we've got the link, the smart link there. You can tap into Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, all that stuff.
Just press it.
So just hit that button. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you got to do.
And we'll start with this. So let's start with Saturday Night Live. Okay. What are some of your favorite skits or characters that Will Ferrell did in Saturday Night Live?
Well, you got to come out with the cowbell. That's got to be number 1.
I Got a Fever.
And with him and Christopher Walken.
So great.
To me, there's no way that I could shoot a scene as an actor with Will Ferrell and keep a straight face.
Not live, bro.
Not live. There's no way.
Yeah,
there's
no
way. Especially with that scene. And then I forget what it was where who he plays, but where he has the mankini, the American flag mankini on.
Oh yeah, the one with Sean William Scott in the skit, and he comes
and
in
all of them
office
are cracking up during that, except for Will Ferrell,
because it comes like the bottom part of the bikini comes like open. I don't know if that was part of the skit. Or
probably not.
I don't think it was. But that's what's crazy is that stuff's live, so like you're getting the reactions. And of course, if you're in a skit with Jimmy Fallon, like
he
laughs all the time, every time.
I think everybody's goal was just to make Jimmy Fallon laugh.
Yeah,
which was easy,
right? And then but the cowbell skit is great.
And then you get the Batabi brothers with what's his name from Night of the Roxbury, which turned into a movie that they did on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, God, what's that dude's name?
Chris. I don't even know.
I know exactly what you're talking about. What's his
it
name?
looks like a little squirrel.
Oh, God. Chris.
Come on, Google machine.
Damn it.
Chris Kattan. Thank you, director. Look at the director back there coming through in the clutch
Shout
on
out
us.
to the
Didn't even have to pull out the Google
director.
machine. Ding.
Yeah, shout out to Chance. But yeah, Chris Kattan. I'm so stupid for that. But that skit's great. And of course, you always had like which we'll get into, like they had the movie Night at the Roxbury, which was cool for what it was.
Yeah.
It was just that sketch for an entire like runtime.
Hour and a half, which was
sometimes is tough. Like,
yes.
I couldn't really get through all of Ladies Man, which was another one that was a skit on Saturday Night Live that became a movie with God, what's his name?
I don't know. I just went completely brain dead on that one. You had
Either way,
I wouldn't have the answer for that one. But then you had Superstar with Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon.
He was in a bit role with Molly Shannon. What you got for us, director? Tim Meadows. Thank you, sir. Ding.
God,
coming through in the
I'm
clutch
so dumb
again.
because I know this stuff and I'm just off the top of my head.
We're not professionals in this in any way, of any form or fashion. Are we professionals with this?
No, we're not.
We're just flying off the seat of our pants.
Off the seat of our pants.
I don't think that made any sense, but
Saturday Night Live, Neil Diamond, the Neil Diamond skit, which you can't. It's hard to find now. More Cowbell is a great skit.
Oh,
great skit.
One of the best.
Then you had Night at the Roxbury.
Yep.
That whole skit with him and Chris Kattan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which they ended up making the movie out of, which is cool. We'll get into that a little later, I guess. But
it's all right. It's hard to fill in an hour and a half with that
a 5 minute sketch. Cool.
It's easy to deal with, but with an hour and a half,
yeah, it's kind of rough. But those were really cool skits, and then he had the one like you were talking about with the American flag stuff.
Yes,
he had
that's
Neil
one of my
Diamond.
favorites.
When he was Neil Diamond, and that one's hard to find now, and it's not on either one of those DVDs that he put out. And I think it's because either Neil Diamond didn't like the skit, or maybe it was a music thing that they couldn't put it on DVDs because he was like singing Neil Diamond songs.
Neil Diamond can get over it,
dude. Over under that Neil Diamond's still alive. It's still one of the greatest.
I would have thought he was dead.
I got some shit to say on this. But that one was funny. Then he did Robert Goulet.
Yes, that's the one
Goulet. Like that shit's great. His singing
the one
rap
that I
songs.
like with I think it's Molly Shannon, where they're the lovers.
Oh yeah, lovers, and they're always in the hot tub.
Oh my god, where he's got her cracking up the whole day, and it's once again, I don't know how anybody can keep a straight face with him.
He had so many. He had the one when he would like yell at his animals, at his dogs and stuff. He had the one where it's just random skits where I think he's sitting at the dinner table with. Maybe Sarah Michelle Gellar when she was a guest starring or something.
Probably so.
And he just plays her dad and he just flips out.
He's just a classic with anything he touches.
There's the one where he's the devil.
Oh, yes.
And he's like Garth Brooks is in the skit with it. There's so many of them, dude. Yeah, the Spartan cheerleaders.
Yeah, oh,
Shout out
yeah.
to Chance, him and Sherry O'Terry. That was great. He did the skit Morning Latte when they were like morning television hosts. Oh, jeez. Bro, I'm telling you, that he had so many dope ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I went brain dead. I thought of one, but I didn't.
But Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live was like, there's the one.
That was the prime of Saturday Night Live to me. Was that's when I watched it the most, was during that cast with Will Ferrell and what's his name from Ladies Man? I went completely dead again.
Oh, Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows.
Yeah. Which Tim Meadows is always. Me and Skeggs have always joked about Tim Meadows being like the throwaway like character in all the movies and SNL because he's just kind of there. But
I like him in the Goldbergs.
I've never watched the Goldbergs.
You've never seen the Goldbergs?
No, I've heard it's good. I know
so
that.
good.
I know that
it's stretched a little too far now.
I heard that they're like milking it out a little bit.
Yeah, they're milking it out way too much. But the first 6 seasons are great of that show.
Yeah,
classic.
And then there's a skit on Saturday Night Live where Will Ferrell plays a doctor, and he's Dr. Poop is his name, right? and it's him and it's Molly Shannon and the dude. Oh God, I forgot his name, but he's in Anchorman. He's the one that calls Ron Poop Mouth. Poop Mouth, you're a poop mouth. That dude. He's like the whole skit is.
I can't remember.
He's completely ridiculous. He's a doctor that's a horrible doctor, and he lost their baby. So it's that skit, like you'll have to look it up. But
that's what I'm going to do on my way home is watch Saturday Night Live.
Poop, it'll probably pull it up.
Well, Saturday night. That word is
just say SNL.
SNL skits are going to what? Jeez, I'm struggling.
Let's go, dude. This is a late night
struggle bus.
But
that's what I'm watching on the way home.
Shout out to SNL.
Got it. SNL. No more Saturday Night Live. Boom! I said it right there easily.
Okay, let's go out on a high note.
Let's go right into the movies,
guys.
here.
Episode 7. So now we're gonna go into the movies. Like we talked about, he had some cameos in like smaller roles in movies early on. He was in Austin Powers.
Yeah, 97. He was in Austin Powers as Mustafa. He was the guy that got tossed into the furnace and. You see smoke coming out of the vent and everything, and he's still down there. I'm badly burned. Someone, please come help me.
That movie, which I watched Austin Powers so many times, especially the first two. Goldmember's kind of but the first two are awesome.
Gold,
yeah.
And he's in the second one as well. He gets thrown off the cliff in the second one.
He does, yeah. Did you ever see that movie that he was in called Dick with Michelle Williams and it's like Kirsten Dunst, I think?
I've never seen that one.
I hadn't
heard of that one.
It's one I don't know how much of a role he was. I don't think he was like a starring role in it, but then you had like Superstar.
Yep.
Ladies Man, which was all SNL stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Zoolander. I've never really been big on Zoolander.
Zoolander has never been on my high list. I like Ben Stiller, but
I do too. I never really got on board.
It's got a big cult following to it.
No, for sure. But a lot of people love it. It just wasn't my thing. Then I guess 03 we can kind of go. I guess in order if you want.
That's when he starts getting. Old school is when Will Ferrell got huge movie wise. I mean, he was already
Frank the Tank, baby.
Yeah, he was already rolling with everybody knew who he was from SNL.
Mm-hmm.
But once Old School came out, it was like everybody was a Will Ferrell fan.
Yeah,
Frank the Tank was an amazing character. I'm a big fan of that
movie.
Oh yeah, Vince Vaughn too. Vaughn is great.
Everybody except Luke Wilson.
Yeah, we know you're not a Luke Wilson fan.
I don't like Owen either. I think they're both. I mean, I don't want to say I don't like them. They're just kind of blah. I guess they're cool for what they are, but like he wasn't supposed to be the comedy in that movie. He's supposed to be just the regular dude. And then you got Vince Vaughn that's kind of in between, and then Will Ferrell who's ridiculous.
And then what is
Old School?
Yeah, I was thinking Jonah Hill was in that. Is Jonah Hill in? Jonah Hill's not in there.
I don't think so.
No. What's
Jeremy Piven?
Yeah, Jeremy Piven is. He plays the main,
the
dean of the student and all that stuff. But for some reason I was thinking I've got that and Accepted mixed up together.
Accepted, yeah. That's like the first thing I remember Jonah Hill ever being in. That's a couple years later. So 03 you had Old School, which is kind of what got him.
Going. Oh, dude, when he's dressed up as the mascot. And tries to jump through the ring of fire, and he comes walking out in the locker room in his tidy whities, and he's just all completely burnt up. And Vince Vaughn slaps him right on the back.
Bro, you're my boy, Blue.
Yeah,
you're my boy, Blue. Same year, 2003, Elf.
Oh, Christmas classic.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna be honest with you. When Elf came out, it took me years to where I wanted to watch Elf. Because I love Will Ferrell, but I looked at I would just see Elf and I would be like, it's a kid movie. And I just never really went and watched it like I watched Christmas Vacation or Home Alones or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But later on, I started watching Elf more.
Dude, Elf is so great.
Elf is great, yeah.
There's so many one-liners in that movie and just Polar Express, we watch Polar Express. That's the movie that gets played when we're putting up the Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. Christmas Vacation is watched quite a bit. Home Alone's watched quite a bit, but probably Elf is played the most at our house from November through December. Elf is at least 2 to 3 times a week. It's played at the house.
Yeah, and that's
Melissa and P love that movie.
That's one of Mel's favorite Christmas movies too. So.
Hey, buddy, I hope you find your dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Narwhal.
Shout out to Bob Newhart too.
Oh yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just so great.
So
the music's great in it. It's got some feel good movement, feel good moments.
Yeah.
Just I love Elf.
Yeah, Elf's dope.
It's made its way. I think it's made its way up the Christmas rankings now. It's gotten more love here, I think, recently than when it first came out.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. What it was. That's what it was with me too. Like,
no.
It took some years. And then he had a small role in Starsky and Hutch. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, he plays the dude in the prison, the dragon dude.
Big Earl.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was a cool movie. I mean, for what again? You got Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
but Ben Stiller. I think Snoop's in that.
Yeah, Snoop's in that one.
Yeah,
Snoop's in Old School too.
Snoop,
Loop.
Yeah, Snoop-a-Loop. Yeah,
we're going streaking to the quads,
dude. So in 03 he put out Old School and he put out Elf, right?
Yeah.
And then 04 is when Anchorman came out.
Oh, geez.
And when Anchorman came out, that took shit to another level with me with Will Ferrell because me and my buddies. All we wanted to watch was Anchorman, and we wanted to talk like Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
and we're at this point we're 20 years old.
Yeah, and you're wanting to quote every line from the movie. I mean, and it's the cast in that movie. You have a young Steve Carell.
Yeah,
I think that probably was one of Steve Carell's first.
For sure, because that was before 04. That was before 40-Year-Old Virgin and all that.
Yeah. So that he pretty much and Paul Rudd as well.
Paul Rudd, yep. David Kirchner.
Yeah, Champ.
Whammy. Yeah.
But
Christina Applegate.
Yeah, he brought so many of these comedians that we love nowadays. They all got their start pretty much from. Yeah,
well, and of course, with Paul Rudd,
popular.
Paul Rudd was in Clueless. He was in Friends.
Yeah,
he was in some stuff, but Anchorman was I think when you really could see how funny Paul Rudd was.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Will Ferrell's character in that movie is insane.
Is that one of the first movies where him and Adam McKay teamed up for a movie?
Yes, it's the first one.
That's the first one?
Yeah, Adam McKay wrote and directed that one in 04. And of course, once that one came out, that's when everybody was like, "Oh my God, this shit's..."
Yeah, Will Ferrell's the greatest comedian ever.
Yeah, it was that shit because he had left. It was 4 or 5 years after SNL, but he had Old School and he had Elf out. But when that came out, that's when I feel like everything started to take a turn as far as him being one of the funniest.
Oh, Ron Burgundy is one of the fun comedic characters that everybody knows about,
and it's crossed over into sports. He's got his own. I don't know if he still does the audio podcast.
I'm not sure, but I mean, when that movie came, was it? He was all over ESPN.
No, yeah,
I mean, just the publicity leading up to that movie
because it was such a ridiculous movie, but it was so funny.
Oh my gosh, it's so quotable.
But yeah, then 05 you had Kicking and Screaming, which I think it was okay. It was more like a kids movie where the soccer.
It's funny when he yells at the kids though.
Yeah,
especially the one that's, "You're not supposed to attempt to shoot. Yeah. I tell you when you let the good kid play." Yeah, and you had Dennis Hopper in there too. I think. Did you? Was it Dennis Hopper? Let me look. Is he the dad? Is he his dad? Is that his dad in that one? No, that's Mike Ditka. Yes. God damn, Dennis Hopper. I was thinking I had Dennis Hopper on the brain because you was Ditka talking shit about Texas Chainsaw 2 that we'll get into another episode. Anyways, but yeah, then you had one I never watched, Bewitched. It just wasn't anything I had any desire to watch. Does that have Nicole Kidman in that? Oh, let's hope it does. Have Nicole Kidman in it. It does, dude. It does. No wonder you didn't watch it. Yeah, pass that one. Bewitched. No, so 05 you had Kicking and Screaming. You had Bewitched, and then he had the great role in Wedding Crashers. Yeah, small role in it. That's one of the first little cameos where he slid in. He was the original Wedding Crasher, and then transferred it over to Funerals. No, for sure. What was his name in that one? I have it. Chaz. Chaz Reinhold. Yep, Chaz Reinhold. The OG Wedding Crasher. Yep. And then, of course, he did some other stuff. He did stuff that I didn't really watch, but in 06, he did a few things, but then we'll just skip ahead. 06 is when he did Talladega Nights. That's when Ricky Bobby. So then another character, bro. You had Anchorman, Ron Burgundy, which was one of the most iconic comedic characters. Yes. And then he did Ricky Bobby. Yeah, and then that's the first time he teamed up with John C. Reilly too, right? Yes, that's John C. Reilly. Kyle Naughton Jr.
Dude, that movie, when that movie came out, I was like, there's no way that this movie could be funny like Anchorman. And it was just as funny in a completely different way. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, and then you had Borat in there. What's his name?
Yep.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yep. You had him in there. You had Michael Clark Duncan,
Yes.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
But that movie's hilarious, dude. And another one that's so many quotables in that one.
That's one that I'm surprised we never got a sequel to.
That's something we can talk about like on this episode because there's so many other Will Ferrell movies that I felt like should have got a sequel besides Daddy's Home.
Yeah.
And it just never did. But that's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Why they never made a sequel to Talladega Nights, I'll never understand.
Maybe they just said, this is all we need with it.
No,
but
for sure.
I would have taken so much more of it.
Dude, that's what she said. So the
Good one.
But the scenes in the main scene in Talladega Nights that I loved so much was the kitchen table scene.
That's
obviously
that and
with Chip with the granddad.
Oh yes,
throwing his war medals over the bridge.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew,
bro. I love the way they're talking to you because they're winners. That's what winners do.
All
he ever did was make a hot wife.
That and when his dad makes him get in the car with the Panther.
Oh, dude, yeah.
If you and his what is it? Gale, what is the shirt that he's wearing? His old country music singer.
Oh, Crystal Gale?
Crystal Gale shirt. Yes, that's
so
it.
So great, dude.
So great.
But Talladega Nights, of course, I mean, to this day, I'm called Chatty Bobby because of how much I loved Talladega Nights and Ricky Bobby. And then some way along the lines, 2 or 3 years after the movie came out, I started going by Chatty Bobby.
Yeah.
And it's all because of Talladega
And you have
Nights.
an album cover that looks
for sure. It's
Ding.
Love that movie, man. That was 2006. Same year of 2006, Blades of Glory, which is a slept-on.
Yeah, that one's super slept on.
It's super slept on. With
Nobody talks about that one.
Him and John Heder.
Chaz Michaels.
Yeah, dude. We've watched that. Me and Mel have watched that one before, but I've watched it, obviously.
The commentary when he's skating and he's just making love to the camera.
Dude, and you got my boy Nick Swartzen in it. He plays like the Braves fan. Great little cameo. But...
I agree with you. That's one that nobody, when you're talking about Will Ferrell movies, hardly anybody brings up Blades of Glory.
Never, bro.
Who directed that? Was that another Adam McKay one?
No, it was Josh Gordon.
Oh, okay. Way off.
I was way off. Amy Poehler's in that one, too. I forgot. Oh, you got Will Arnett in there, too?
Yes, Will Arnett. Super.
You got a dude that played Coach, too. Craig T. Nelson.
And also in Poltergeist.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. I love how I used Coach as the reference instead of Poltergeist. Well, did you ever watch Coach?
That's one you and Jordan have always talked about Coach, but I've never seen it.
I talked about it, but I only saw a handful of episodes.
Is it Jordan? Jordan's watched it.
Maybe
Jordan always talks about Coach, but that's a show I've never seen.
Yeah, but Blades of Glory is definitely, I would say, one of the most slept on Will Ferrell comedies.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then in that same year, he came out with Stranger Than Fiction, and I'm mad that I've never seen that one.
But
that's when he started to do like a drama, and it's gotten really good reviews. You know, it's in the 7.5, 8 on all the websites.
Yeah, and I think I skipped by that one because during that time, it's like if I want Will Ferrell, I want comedy out of it.
Yeah, and that's kind of
I don't want serious out of Will Ferrell.
Right, no, for sure. And then 07's when he did that skit, The Landlord.
Oh, God. And then, which I just recently found out, too, that's what started, that skit was the first video that him and Adam McKay put out on Funny or Die. And that's what pretty much launched the Funny or Die website and everything.
Which, that's fire.
If you've never seen The Landlord.
Oh, man. Just YouTube it.
Just YouTube it with Pearl, The Landlord.
It's great.
It is comedic gold, and that little girl is just, I wonder what she's doing now. I wonder if she's an actress.
I don't know.
That was what, 2007?
2007, yeah.
Yeah.
16 years ago, bro.
God, we're getting old.
We're getting old as white dog shit, RP Worm. Look, so 2008, this is another one that's a fucking classic, dude. Semi-Pro.
Oh, yeah. Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon. Shout out to
Harrelson.
Jackie Moon. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Jackie Moon. But this movie, bro, is another one that you could kind of put it in the I don't want to say underrated, but like not talked about as much.
Yeah, it's
like
great.
Glory. But you had Woody Harrelson in there.
I had Andre 3000.
Andre 3000 in there.
Because he did that. It was he did a Mark Wahlberg movie too. Was it Four Brothers?
Who you talking about?
Andre 3000. He did that like action movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Was it Four Brothers?
I think it was Four Brothers. Anyways, we're not even talking about that relatively. But Semi-Pro was absolute Woody Harrelson. Who else is in there? You got Champ in there and everything. No, Champ's not on that one.
No, he is in there.
Oh, he is?
David Kirshner's in there. He's not in it a lot. He's one of the coaches or something, maybe, isn't he?
I thought he was at the poker table with them and everything.
Yeah, he may be, but I think that's when they were all.
Oh, okay.
He's part of he's part of some. You had Mara Tierney in there too, the lady that played Woody Harrelson's like ex-wife or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Marissa Tomei? No.
Spin it back in. Semi-Pro was fire though. Semi-Pro was another one, and fun fact, dude, that movie, the guy that plays the stoner that throws the shot and hits the shot, that the $10,000 shot with Jackie Moon, that's who played Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh, Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah.
And he played Rorschach in The Watchmen too.
In The Watchmen, yeah. So that's what's so random about that. One of the random things about that movie.
Yeah, he's like a little hippie in it.
He's a hippie, yeah, and he like falls asleep and then wakes up and just throws the ball and hits the shot. Wow. And Jackie Moon's like, "Well, you got $10,000."
I like when he was wrestling the bear and the bear gets out of the cage.
Yeah.
He's like, "Nobody move, run, leave the children behind."
Dude, Jackie Moon's a great one. It's another one.
Flint Tropics,
Dude. Another one that was just like great character, like super like mainstream crossover character. He was like getting a lot of like mainstream crossover stuff with like ESPN and NBA, like with the Jackie Moon stuff.
He knew how to get publicity for his for the movies when he needed to.
Dude, 2008 was Semi-Pro, and 2008 was Step Brothers.
And that's probably right there at the top of the list of my favorite Will Ferrell movies.
It's my number 3. It's my number 3, but it's so good, dude.
I'm gonna teabag your drum set,
dude. Don't put your nuts set on my drum set.
What are you doing? I'm just burying you.
Dude,
just let the dirt rain on top of you.
Dude, the
boats and hoses.
Him and John C. Reilly, the fact that they played 2 40-year-old children, basically, and made it like so ridiculous and funny.
The bunk bed scene. When
this is another one, bro. This is another one that I feel should have gotten a sequel.
Oh, I would have taken like 5 movies of these.
Because towards the end they're at the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
And they've grown up, but then they still get back to like being them. They could have easily made a sequel of that, and like it would have been dope, bro. Yeah, Mary Steenburgen in there. What's his name?
The dad's name?
The dad's name is Richard Jenkins.
Yeah.
He had Adam Scott, and you had Katherine Hahn, who's hilarious.
Oh,
she's the one in Bad Moms.
Yeah, Adam Scott. Both you and Jordan both hate Adam Scott.
I don't hate him. He's just whatever. He was in Krampus.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
See, I'm a Parks and Recs fan, so
he's good in that.
I love him in that.
Yeah, he's
him
good
and
in
Amy
that.
Poehler make a great little team in that one.
Yeah, but Step Brothers it's probably it's my number 3 favorite Will Ferrell movie. For me it'd be we'll talk about it at the end, I guess, but Step Brothers is classic, and it's another one that's just still quoted now. Like recently, like this weekend, we were talking about karate in the garage. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always something that gets brought up. And then let's move forward here.
He had a little break in between there for a little bit. It just
yeah,
not really.
He didn't do a lot.
Like shorts and stuff. I think
shorts, and then he did. He was in Land of the Lost, which was kind of cool. It was him and Danny McBride. It was just kind of.
That one gets lost in the fold, man. That's more of like a kids movie.
Yeah, it's PG-13, but it's more. It's like it's like dinosaurs. Yeah, but then he had a small role in The Goods, which was a funny movie. Did you ever see that?
That's Jeremy Piven too.
Jeremy Piven, yeah.
He's a car salesman or something like that.
Yeah. And then he had some more like TV hits, like here and there.
I think they were doing. They were pushing the Funny or Die. They were really pushing the skits through Funny or Die and everything during this time too. When he had like a little null there of movies.
No, for sure. And then 2010 is when. See, this is my favorite one. Other Guys. 2010.
See, I've only seen The Other Guys twice, and
my God, bro,
it's great.
So good. And this is when you first get to see him and Mark Wahlberg. Which they did the Daddy's Home 2 movies.
They're a great team together.
They're great together. But this one, bro, again, this was written directed by Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, and his character in this is so great when he's like, he's got his alter ego of Gator, like the pimp. And it was Eva Mendes is his wife. It was like, you're coming in here dressed like a hobo.
Driving a Prius.
Yeah, dude.
And his wooden gun.
You had Michael Keaton in there.
Yep.
Who worked at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Keep headbutting this microphone.
Oh, yeah, I've done that too. But other guys.
The Rock, Samuel L.
Jackson had some small roles in there when The Rock was like normal size and not super jacked.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite Will Ferrell movie. I love, it would be, for me, it would be that one, Anchorman, and Step Brothers would be my top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. See, I forget.
Yeah.
It's either Anchorman or Step Brothers. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
that's so tough.
Other guys is so
I need to rewatch the other guys.
Bro.
I've seen it's been catching steam. It seems here lately with like TikTok. It's getting little clips from the other guys, and then they're here lately.
Yeah,
especially that one clip from him with we're talking about where he's scared. Don't say nothing to me right now. I'm so scared.
Yeah.
That clip's all over TikTok.
Yeah, apartment pop when he shoots his gun in the apartment. So great, dude. Same year though, he did a movie called Everything Must Go, which was like a drama. It wasn't a bad movie. It was a good movie. It was just kind of depressing. Where I did see that one though, and it was cool. But it was again.
That's one that I passed on too.
Will Ferrell, and then of course he did some animated stuff. He did some voice acting stuff.
Well, right in there, he did come out with the character of D'Angelo Vickers in that time, too.
Yeah, 2011 is when he was on The Office towards the end.
Which he should have stayed on The Office to finish out that show.
I wish he would have, bro.
That would have been the better way to end that. But,
Yeah, and then
or Kathy Bates. Either one of them two should have ended the show.
Yeah, Kathy Bates was great in it, too. He did a movie, too, that was a really weird one, man, that I watched years ago when it came out called Casa de mi Padre, and it's like he's literally speaking Spanish the whole movie, bro. It's a comedy, but it's literally he's speaking Spanish. The whole movie's in Spanish.
That's one that I've never gotten around to.
Well, I know. I watched it when it came out, like 2013 or 14, and I was like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I don't know.
What are you doing?
Also, too, Eastbound and Down was 2009 through 2013. And, of course, Ashley Schaefer in Eastbound and Down, one of the greatest characters ever.
I can feel it in my plums.
Let the boy watch.
But and they spread it out. Well, he was in, what, 2 episodes in the first season? Because I think he was in, I got it wrote down as 5 episodes.
5 total.
Five total.
So I would assume it'd be in the first episode, the first season and second season. Was he in season 3 or 4? I can't remember.
Is that when he came back? Was the third season?
I can't remember.
Yeah. I think he comes back in the third season for an episode or 2, but yeah, just the wig. He had to model that character after Ric Flair.
Oh, dude, he absolutely did because the hair and the woo.
Yeah, and the outtakes from that with him, Craig Robertson, and Danny McBride are some of the best.
I need to get Mel to watch Eastbound and Down. It's so
when you have Danny McBride and Craig Robertson face to face, and then you have Will Ferrell in between them,
trying to make them laugh,
doing everything he can, trying to make them laugh, and he's making himself laugh at the same time. It's just,
it's great.
It's so great, and that's what coming back around to physical media and everything is the gag reels on all these movies.
Yeah,
that you get in the bonus features are almost better than the movie itself.
Oh, yeah, that's usually how it is, too. Like with TV shows and movies and stuff, like watching the gag reels are always funny because you get to kind of see them being like...
And how most of the time they're ad-libbing most of this stuff.
No, especially anything Will Ferrell. Him and Danny McBride both, I think, ad-libbed the majority of their shit.
It's insane. That's just talent. It's
just being able to be funny on command, dude. 2012, another one that's one of my... It's so hard, like...
Oh, yes.
You can interchange the top 5 of the Will Ferrell movies. Campaign 2012.
Yeah, good old Cam Brady.
Good old Cam Brady.
Marty Huggins.
Let's lick each other's buttholes in the Denny's bathroom, dude. He left that on a voicemail, and you know that he did. That was not written.
There's no way that nobody can
do
write
something
that
crazy like lick each other's buttholes in the Denny's bathroom.
Punches a baby,
dude. And let's not discount the performance of Zach Galifianakis as Marty Huggins, dude.
Those damn pugs, man.
Dude.
And one of the best scenes is at the dinner table with Marty Huggins and the family.
When they're all confessing stuff.
Yeah, because he's about to run, and then they got to confess everything out. Oh.
And that one little boy they had, he had
no filter.
Well, that, and he had one of the biggest heads I've ever seen on a screen before.
Yeah,
he had a basketball head. Dude.
Yeah,
it was. Bless him. Hopefully he grew into that thing.
Look at the size of that boy's head.
And that's coming from somebody that was a size 8 and damn near 8 1/4 hat. And he had a big old head.
But yeah, the campaign.
Great. Then he had a small part, or I think in the internship. Did you like that one?
Is that another Luke Wilson or Owen
Wilson and Vince Vaughn? It's like they work for Google or something.
No,
I watched it one time.
I know of it. I've never seen
it. I never watched it a second time. It definitely wasn't as good as like Wedding Crashers or anything. And then 2013 he did Anchorman 2.
Yes.
Which was great.
Just as good.
We watched that recently. Me and Mel watched that recently, and bro, first of all,
the ad-libbing in that one is
Steve Carell's character is insane in that one. Like, he's dumb in the first one, but he is like unbelievably dumb in the second one.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what they were trying to do with Brick in that one.
They took Brick way over the edge with that one. Like, but it was still funny. But some of it, I'm like, oh, this is too much. But Will Ferrell is just hilarious in that, dude. I mean, that's Anchorman 2, especially with it being like 8 or 9 years after the first one.
Yeah, that was the surprise where they took so long to do it, but it's still.
I thought it was still dope, and
it's still dope.
It's a little long. There's like 3 different ways you can watch that one. There's like an unrated, a theatrical, and
theoretical.
And then like a director's cut something. They're all different.
Good Lord. I think I've only seen the theoretical cut of it.
Theoretical, yeah, shout out theoretical. Then, of course, he did voiceover work. He like in the Lego movies and stuff like that.
He makes a good bad guy in that one. It's just doing the voiceover. But Will Ferrell, it's another one. Like Jack Black, he's another guy that can do great voice acting because they can change up everything.
Yeah, they can change their voices.
Jack Black evidently is like taking off now with the new Super Mario movie.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, he's like the Bowser in it, but I guess like he's like the superstar of the whole movie.
Well, that's cool. Shout out Jack Black.
Yeah.
20 off there. This is where we'll disagree, I guess. Kind of somewhat. 2015, Get Hard with him and Kevin Hart. You said you didn't like that one?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. It's on my lower list of. It'd be on the low end of the list of Will Ferrell movies for me.
This is when it started to kind of, because he was he was not missing.
No, he wasn't missing at all.
1 and 2, Step Brothers, Other Guys, Semi-Pro, Old School.
You knew it was bound to happen where he was going to finally catch
Talladega
up.
Nights.
Where he's going to catch up to him, where he's just going to.
He was going to start doing ones that weren't as good. I like Get Hard, but it's not in the top 7 or 8 Will Ferrell comedies. Like, it's got funny parts. I will say that it's got funny parts.
It's got some funny him and.
But it
had more potential, I guess, with him and Kevin Hart. It had more potential in my mind.
Maybe it was just the story was kind of super far fetched. And then of course Daddy's Home was that same year.
See, these I've been hearing. I need to see these, and I haven't yet to watch.
I watched the first one, man. It's not that edgy comedy. It's like PG-13 comedy, which is not a bad thing. But like, it's got a bunch of CGI in it too. That's kind of weird.
Really?
On some of like the real physical comedy parts, I remember. I just need to rewatch them again. They're on my Vudu. I need to rewatch those again.
But you got him and Mark
Wahlberg, yeah. And then, of course, 2016 he did Zoolander 2, which I never saw that one. And then
wasting my time on that crap.
Another one that you didn't really like. Me and Mel thought it was kind of funny at parts was The House.
Yeah.
When him and Amy Poehler make their house like a casino.
It's another one that with him and Amy Poehler, I was expecting more, and it just kind of fell flat for me. It was just.
It's just towards that newer. It's when he was on his way out as like a comedic actor in films.
I guess I like the raunchier, push the limit Will Ferrell more than.
And this one was R. It was an R comedy, but it still wasn't as like
the Will Ferrell that we grew up with and was diehard fans of.
Yeah, and then 2017 he did Daddy's Home 2, which I've seen once, but I don't. I remember it being okay.
And people put that in the Christmas movie category,
yeah, for sure. And then he just, I mean, after that, dude, and I refused to watch. In 2018, him and John C. Reilly did Holmes and Watson.
Just when you thought they couldn't miss.
That's the thing, bro. This is the rant I have about that movie, right? And it's touted as like one of the worst movies.
Yeah, I
to be
refuse
released
to
in the
watch
theater.
it. I refuse to see it.
I remember when it came out because this is when we were heavy in like the blue tube community when everything was,
Yep.
you know. And
Did
I
you
remember
buy it?
people. No.
You never bought that one?
No, I never bought it. No. I remember people talking about how many people were going into this movie and walking out of the theater. People that brought their kids with them. Everybody was just leaving.
And never would you think of getting a Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly tag team. Would you? But wow.
Say it. You're going to say what I was thinking.
Why would you do a Holmes or Sherlock Holmes movie with them two anyways?
That
it just don't make sense.
That, and if you're going to get them two for a movie, do Step Brothers 2.
Yeah.
Or do Talladega Nights
Don't
2.
give me Holmes and Watson.
Yeah,
don't
bro,
give me
that
this
was
bullshit.
that was a major like.
Give me what we want.
But again, I look at it like Will Ferrell has so many dope ones. He's going to put a dud out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was definitely his dud of all of his
He's
movies.
put some serious duds out here the last couple years.
Yeah, and then he did a bunch of like TV appearances and stuff here and there. He was in a. Did you ever see the Zach Galifianakis movie Between Two Ferns?
I've seen more of the
Dude,
internet clip.
Those clips are so great.
Yeah.
The movie's cool.
But the show itself, when Zach
So funny and awkward, dude. But he's in that. Then he did a movie with him and Julie Louis-Dreyfus, and I was hyped for this movie because I love Julie Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld, and of course
Yep.
I love Will Ferrell. I knew it was going to be like a romantic comedy. It's not a comedy at all. It's not funny. It's depressing. They're like a married couple that are like on the verge of splitting up. It's just not that good. It's not.
Oh, they go
it's
like
just
on a
kind of
skiing trip or something
it's
like
a ski
that?
trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2020. I remember seeing that in the theater with like because I have that Regal pass, and it just was whatever.
Blah.
And dude, I mean, that's pretty much it. Other than these Netflix abominations that he's the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that one? I didn't even watch that.
I
one.
watched maybe 20 minutes of that and then immediately turned it off. It's garbage.
Is it a musical?
Well, they're like a Sweden, or they're from like Sweden or Norway or something. They used to be like a big 80 brother and sister like 80s pop group, and they fell out of fashion, and then they're going to like an American Idol type thing, and trying to get popular again.
Yeah.
It's
not good.
Not good at all.
And then the last one, man, was last year. Him and Ryan Reynolds did a Christmas movie called Spirited.
Yeah,
And people were like bigging it up.
Stoked. I was stoked for this because it was another form of a Christmas Carol, a version of a Christmas Carol and all that stuff. And it is terrible. It not good. It wasn't shot very well. The music, I wasn't a fan of the musical part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of fell flat for me in a major way. What's the rating they got for it?
For
on IMDb.
on
for
IMDb,
Spirited.
6.6.
Yeah, that's way too high for me.
And there's a 6.5 on that other one.
Yeah, way too high for me.
So and I know that he's got in June. There's that movie that looks really funny, the Strays movie, where he does the voice for the dog.
Yeah, I am looking.
And it's like
hard R.
hard R comedy, like similar to like Ted.
Yes.
Me and Mel was talking about wanting to go see that one where they with all the different dogs. I think.
Who else is doing a voice? Kevin Hart's
I'm
Kevin
pretty
Hart
sure.
doing a voice in that one as well?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Sofia Vergara. Yeah. So like Josh Gad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be dope, dude. Will Forte. That'll be Rob Riggle. So that's, I guess, like the new movie that Will Ferrell's coming out with.
Hopefully it's a resurgence of his old Will Ferrell days. I'll take that.
For sure. But yeah, man, overall, Will Ferrell's
got bangers up and down the line.
You could put, if we did some kind of deal, like as this podcast goes on, we have different ideas. It would be dope if we came up with some kind of idea like a versus type thing.
Oh yeah.
Where we did like Will Ferrell versus Adam Sandler, and you take 10 of
that's a good idea.
10
I
of
like
one,
that.
you know what I'm saying? We try to figure out a way to fine tune it. Maybe
Yeah.
that would be cool. But like, I would put Will Ferrell, as far as comedies go, I could put him up against any other comedic actor as far as their movies, and they're so good, bro.
Taking out Holmes and Watson, especially when you team him and John C. Reilly up together, or him and Danny McBride.
Mark Wahlberg. I mean, dudes.
Just give me some more of him and John C. Reilly in Step Brothers fashion, Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Give me more of that.
As much as I'd love to see that again, I think part of me realizes that it's not going to happen. But I don't even think I want to see it now because I'm sure Will Ferrell's in his mid to late 50s.
Yeah, and
so it's like it's kind of that one of those things where that's kind of sailed.
And they got kids now and everything too. It's like I guess you gotta kind of clean it up a little bit once your kids get old. Not really. Who cares?
Fuck.
Give it to us. We want it.
Hell yeah.
Because you don't even see really John C. Reilly or doing much.
No, man. I mean, of course, John C. Reilly was doing a lot of dope, like serious.
Yeah, he's got a whole lot more serious.
He's got a lot more range and can do more, I feel like, than Will Ferrell, I guess, as far as being able to be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
Just because Will Ferrell is so funny.
Come back with him and Danny McBride need to come out with their own show again. Just
sign me up, man.
Do an ad-lib show of just
sign me up.
Wild characters.
Yeah.
Or give us what's Ashley Fraser show.
Yeah. Ashley Schaefer.
Ashley Fraser. Who is
Shout out to Ashley Fraser.
I
don't think that's a person. Well, I'm sure it is a person, but we don't know who they are.
Yeah, we don't know who you are.
Episode 7, guys.
It's in the books.
We got it in the books. We stumbled, bumbled, and fumbled our way through it. But what else would you expect from these two fellas?
Most professional podcasters in the game.
Dude, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Again, shout out to Nixon Pro for letting us use the spot. We are forever grateful.
Yes.
Shout out to Revolution One Media. Shout out to Chance, the director.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Squint615 for the microphones here.
Absolutely. Shout out to Mel for being in attendance today. Boom. She's our first audience member of this podcast since the new move. And we're here, man. The next one, I think we're gonna do something different for the next one. It's gonna be horror themed, but we're not gonna give it away yet. But just stay tuned.
It's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be fun for sure.
May get a little warm in here.
It definitely will, because we're gonna disagree on some stuff. But that's what it's about, man. And again, thank y'all for the support. We're really enjoying how this is going and building this thing from the ground up. And y'all just stick with us. We're gonna keep hitting y'all every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. And
we out this motherfucker.